yeah. What a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arm. Leaning, yes, I'm leaning, safe and secure from all harm. Amen, amen, amen. Just get into the Father's Prayer real quickly. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, Lord, but deliver us from evil. For thy you are the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen, amen, amen. Yes, my title here is about I never had any interest to going to Mexico anyway. So I'm so unbothered. And I just wanted to just put this out there today because as I'm watching some of these videos about some things that's taking place in Mexico where they don't want black Americans there and they protesting, they want you out of their country, and they just having themselves a good time just vandalizing and looting and tearing up their stores and everything, the little that they do have there, the little bit of poor resources that they do have, and they destroying it. Who's going to pay for all of that? Who's going to fix all of that? The Mexican government. Good morning, Frankie. You made it this morning. How are you? I know we 3 hours away. That's why I don't usually try to hit you up at this time in the morning. I got to get ready to go to work in a little bit. So I said before I get my day started, let me come on here and talk about how I feel about Mexicans not wanting black Americans in their country. Why black people? Why are you mad at us? You know what I'm saying? We're just here doing what we got to do to protect ourselves as black American people in America. We've been through enough. We can't come and save everybody because right now we got to deal with ourselves. So why are they angry at black people? So what you see now in the end is how they always felt from the beginning. They always hated black Americans for some reason, maybe because we didn't come here freely and thought we were better than the American people that were already here, the ones who bled and died and went through a whole lot just to be considered citizens when America was first developing. The African slaves wasn't considered citizens until at least 1865 or 1869. And we put in like 200 and something, almost 200 years of labor before that even happened. Let's see, when they first came and enslaved us here in the United States of America, and then they had the slave trade, and they were importing slaves from Africa, all different places of Africa, and places as they was dropping them off in different places of the world. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Mexicans. I am truly sorry you feel that way because I know I don't have any interest in going to no Mexico. Never did. Never really did. I never had any interest in going to be honest with you, any country that I see people come here and don't want to go back to their own country. That tells me something. Because when you love your country and you feel your country is so much greater than here, you wouldn't be fighting ICE agents and getting mad at Donald Trump when he says that it's time now for you people to go back home, especially when you weren't here legally in the first place. So why would I want to go to a country already that, you having a hard time getting you out of the United States of America? Make it make sense. So y'all could go right on over there. As long as y'all could go tear y'all country up. I don't care. I don't have no interest in going to Mexico. And especially after what happened to that young girl, Shanquilla Robinson. And still in all, Mexico knows what happened, and they refuse to arrest the people that were responsible for her death. America could not touch it because America, it didn't happen on America's soil. It happened in Mexico. And a crime took place in Mexico over that young black girl's life. No black person should have any interest in going to Mexico after what happened to Shanquilla Robinson's life. To this day, they have not made an arrest to the people that were responsible for her death. They still allow the criminals to run free. That shows you the kind of place of Mexico is and how Mexico cares about black people, black women, and they known for femicide against women. So why would I want to go someplace where they don't even respect women, even though they have a woman president right now in their country, a woman leader in their country, but she probably related to the cartels. And that's why she's sitting up there. I wouldn't have. They could go ahead and tear up. I don't want to go to they shithole country anyway. There's a lot of countries I wouldn't want to go to, especially the ones who always come in here to the United States illegally and trying to overstay their welcome, and then want to be out here asking for benefits and rights when you ain't got no rights. You're not a citizen here, so how are you gonna get rights without being a citizen? This is why I said the Statue of Liberty was not saying immigrants could come to our country and stay. It was for those who naturalized here, those who came here freely to give and wanted to come and be a part of the American melting pot or the American fabric here of the American people, and respect our laws and respect our land and respect our citizens. And if you ain't got none of that in you, then you don't need to be coming here to the United States of America. You have to respect the citizens of this country, and you want to be a part of this in America, sure. But the thing is that you got to go through it the right way. We have to do a vetting. You have to be vetted. Just can't come across nobody's borders and nobody know who you are. Of course, we got to do our check out who you are in your country before you come to the United States of America. And those who came here the right way of to come to America to naturalize over here, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. But we talking about the ones who came here without the right documentation, came here on a visa for a vacation and never went back, or came here as a student and your visa expired and you never went back. Even if you got married, you still got to go back and be vetted. Your citizen, just because you get married to a citizen of the United States, doesn't guarantee you citizenship. It's a lot you can learn about this mass deportation. It's a lot you can learn about the laws of the United States of America, about the constitutional laws, why we have to do this, and not only just in the United States of America, but this is all over the world. If you do your research, you will find Poland does it as well. You cannot go to their country without the right documents to be there. And if you do come across they lines and you do any kind of terrorism or make any threat to any citizen over their life, you ain't gonna get a rubber bullet. You gonna get a metal bullet in you. That's how they operate. So America has been very kind to those of you who've been here for overstay and you still breathing above and not beneath. America has been very kind. They even offered to even pay for your transportation to wherever you gotta go to go back to your own homeland. And you know what was very disappointing is when I seen people doing TikTok videos about Haiti fighting with ICE, and that is a devil's lie. That is a devil's lie. They just trying to turn the heat on Haiti, and it's them damn Mexicans and those Venezuelans and all those people from those other places where they came here illegally, those criminals. They trying to make it look like the Haitians are the bad guys. The Caribbeans, those Caribbean black people are the bad people. I don't have no problem with the Haitians. I don't have no problem with the Jamaicans either. When they come here, they get their shit in order. Even the Africans. Every black person who came from other places of the world have not been as disrespectful to the American government here as much as those damn Mexicans and those other people from Palestine or whatever to burn the flags. Those who's been burning the damn flag. Ain't no African out there burning no flag. Ain't no West Indian Jamaican out there burning no flag. Ain't no Haitian out there. See, they know what it's. They know the rules. That's one thing you could say about black people from all over the place, all over the world. They the most under. They the ones who are overlooked but has the most kindness. When they come into the United States of America, they always show reverence. They always show kindness. They may not show kindness to the black Americans here because they get a little jealous of us in some kind of way, but at least they don't do the crazy, wild out, stinking, nasty stuff that we see happening with these Mexicans. Now you see the difference, right? They come here, they think they so close to white that they so privileged, but not knowing they are also considered lower than black people. Because we have a reason to have anger and madness going on with us because of the things that has happened to us throughout history in the United States. But a lot of us have moved on. We have moved on. We have overcome that. We already fought and we got the victory, but there's still work to be done. It's still work to be done. And one of the things that need to be done in the black American culture is that we got to stop tearing each other down and believe everything that goes on media to make us sound like we're violent, sex offenders, and crazy and everything else, like having the world look at us like that. Because until we learn how to stand with each other and do more research before we go targeting people and attacking people, we need to really take a close look at things. And that's the problem that most black Americans have. As soon as people will put our face out there to say this is what happened, like what they did to Robert Sylvester Kelly and the same that they tried to do to Diddy. As soon as they put these black men in entertainment faces out there, they want to jump on the bandwagon to say they criminals and that they sex offenders and they also are violent and running enterprises and stuff. When this stuff was going on way before Robert Sylvester Kelly even became R. Kelly, way before Diddy, Sean Combs ever became Puff Daddy or P. Diddy. This stuff been in the music industry forever, since Marilyn Monroe. Women have always been sort of kind of like sex symbols, over sexualized in the music industry, in entertainment, in Hollywood. It has always been that way. So stop making it sound like it's John Combs and R. Kelly. They always been pushing young girls on these entertainers. And the Mann Act law was definitely targeted. It was supposed to protect women in at that time, women being transported, prostituted in any kind of way, like sex trafficking women, but they turned it into a law to weaponize black men. That's what the Mann Act is. And they start hitting them with these high sentences. The first it was used against, if they can't control them, they try to control them with the Mann Act to break them. And if you read up about the Mann Act, you will get that information. So stop trying to make it sound like it's R. Kelly and Diddy is the men behind all of this that goes on in these industries. This been going on since God knows when. Look at the story, the sad story of Marilyn Monroe. Her story was so heartbreaking of how she was passed around and sex trafficking. I don't know which president was. Was it Robert or John Kennedy? One of them. She was a. She was a. If you go behind Marilyn Monroe's story and so many other sex symbols, women in sex symbols, or actress and actors or whatever, how they use these women Look at all the men that Marilyn Monroe married in her time as a sex symbol. The baseball player. Her life was so sad. So stop making it sound like it's R. Kelly and Diddy. The entertainment world has always been the world controlled by these type of perverts since Caligula time. Okay? Since Caligula time, since the Roman Empire time, entertainment has always been controlled by Satan. That they got so much money and in with so many you would say powerful people in entertainment, like with politics. We saw all of that with the Democrat Party. They run the Hollywood. If you notice, mostly everybody that's Democrat are hooked up with politicians. All deal with nothing but celebrities. Hollywood. Look at everything that was running on that campaign for the DNC last year. All was controlled by Hollywood. They had Hollywood coming out to speak at these rallies or the events. They had Beyonce. They had, what's her name, Glorilla. That should tell you something right there. We didn't see all of that kind of entertainment going on at the rallies for Trump. You didn't see that. You didn't see nobody had to get up on the stage and twerk for votes. You didn't see no big celebrity to come out and perform at his rally. Now, for his inauguration, that's something totally different. But for the rally, for while he was doing his campaigning, who was sending mostly Hollywood and the music industry to come and entertain for to get people out there on the boat, giving concerts and everything? It was the Democrats. And then Kamala was like, I'm not just going to do no, because her whole plan was for immigrants. Everything was for them to wipe us out, to get black people to be replaced. That is what their whole target was. They wanted to bring in all these people to take over the black, like Trump said, black jobs, run us out of agriculture, run us out of working in the hotels, run us out of, work all the jobs that mostly black people used to do, were good at. Construction, all of those jobs that were basically mostly black jobs were being ran out. Black people were being outsourced for these immigrants to come in and take your jobs. Because some people, that's all they want to do is be construction workers. Some people, that's what they want to do. They want to be in agriculture. But all of a sudden now, all of these immigrants, illegals, came in, and the Democrat brought them in to run us out of these job markets. Just the other day, my sister and I wanted to go get her toes, pedicures and everything. I told her like this. I said, you go ahead and spend your money with Sue. I'm going to go home and I'm going to do my own pedicure. I have not been to a manicurist or anybody doing my pedicures. I know a sister anyway that does pedicures and manicures. So when I want to get my nails done, I will go to her. But even though I don't do all of that stuff because I work around young children and I can't, have my fingernails all long and all that crazy stuff. Or if I'm going to a special occasion. But I know how to do my own pedicures and do my own nails. Amen. Because I don't see these people coming in and support any black businesses. I'm sorry. I don't see the Chinaman coming inside the soul food. If anything, he try to make the soul food that we make and sell it to us. And I'm hip to it. No, they don't even eat that stuff. So why would I go and spend my money someplace where these people don't even eat my food, but they out here selling my food? In China, the Chinese people, or Chinese Korean, or whatever they are, Asian people, whatever, they do not support black businesses. They do not integrate their money. Okay? They only keep it among themselves. And President Trump was so right about that. Why we keep spending money with these kind of people and these people don't support your businesses? When do you see the Chinaman come and sit in a soul food restaurant? Or go to any black owned business? But you still go and spend your money getting your nails done and your eyebrows waxed and whatever waxing you do. There is so many black businesses that do makeup, that does, pedicures and manicures and all of these things, and you don't see them come in and support your business, but you go and spend your money with them. And if we stop spending our money with them, they'll get out of the United States quicker, because we the only people that really put our money to the table with these people. Even in some of these schools that I do, like these corporate centers, I don't see too many Chinese children in these schools. That should tell you something. Out of my whole classroom, I will probably see maybe one, and not even one. It was the last one I was at. I didn't see not one Chinese child. I had not one child who was from Korea or Vietnamese or Chinese or China. None of that. Not even Japanese. Now, one center called Children I worked at, they had a few of them there, maybe two or three there. But the last one I was at, I seen none. Now, I seen children from India integrating with us, but not too many Chinese kids. So that should tell you something right there. They in America, but they don't send their kids to school with you. Very rare that you'll see maybe one or two in their schools, and there's a whole lot of them here. Why they don't go to and believe it or not, the schools that I do work at are predominantly white. So why don't I see no Chinese kids in those schools? Even when I was coming up and going to school, I barely seen any Chinese kids in school with us. Very rare. But they come to America and they American, right? They talk about they American. But I never seen that many Chinese children in none of the none of the American public schools. Really. I'm telling you. But you go spend your money in they salons and getting your nails done. Trump has done us a big favor. Whether we want to see it and believe it or not, call them whatever you want, but run them out of business. And how you run them out? Stop putting your money in their local small businesses like hair stores, doing that. If anything, do your own hair. Get back in the kitchen and press and comb your own hair. Or go back to those good old days where black people kept their money and building their own communities. It could be done. It could be done by American. And as far as black people, stop spending your money on those Chinese foods and going to these Chinese restaurants, spending your money, because ain't none of them coming to your soul food restaurant spending their money. I don't see them integrate as much. Not even those Indian people. They don't even hardly eat our foods. You rarely see them come and eat our food. But you going in there eating they fried chicken. Ain't nobody can fry no chicken better than us. That was an American, black American dish. Nobody could make greens better than us. That was invented. That was our foods. Mac and cheese, all of that, and some more other dishes. And let me tell you, them South Carolina people, they could throw down when it comes to making some rice. They know how to make the best rice. Y'all better go back and do your history on food and everything about the foods that we ate that kept us healthy and strong and going in our diet. We make the best grits, the best creamy grits you can eat. Yep, I was not interested. I said, look to my sister and them. I said, look, I'd go home and do my own pedicure. I'm not going with y'all to spend my money in these people business. These people don't give us no business. But I ain't gonna tell people how to spend their money, but I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna spend mine. Cause I sure enough wasn't gonna put my money in their business. Instead of them over there talking about Target and boycotting Target and all these other stores. No, what you need to do is you need to boycott these Chinese food restaurants in your community and boycott these doggone Chinese businesses. That's what you need to do. You not boycott them, but just stop spending your money there. Run them out of business. 'Cause they don't do nothing to help black people in this country. They don't. They've been ripping us off for years. You don't even see black people work in their businesses. Oh yeah, and I did talk about the Lyft drivers, the Lyft riders. My friend, she has what they call, she has some surgery, so certain things she can't lift, she can't walk a certain a lot because she has some knee replacement. So she has to use what they call the accessoride in New York. And being that sometimes, they don't have that many vans or whatever, they do door to door pickup and they use sometimes outside contractors like Lyft or Uber. So she was using the Uber ride to get to and fro to a certain to work. And the Uber driver happened to have been a foreigner, immigrant. And she couldn't understand what he said or whatever. When she got out the car, he came around and hit her in the back. And she was like, she made a complaint. She did call a complaint that the man hit her, asking her for the money or something like that, and had hit her. And she said that she had to call and report him. But they were giving her a hard time of reporting this immigrant. She's like, he punched me in the back. I got out the car and this man hit me, get out the car and hit her in the back. And I told her, I said, that's dangerous. That is very scary. And then I realized that a lot of them are people that don't really come from, not American citizens. A lot of these drivers, they all from India or whatever. And even when you call, you don't even get a person to talk on the phone unless you got to call their head office. And who knows where their head office is. And I said, well, you know what? I hope the being that we now have this mass deportation thing going on and trying to get rid of all these illegals, I hope that they are checking these Lyft and Uber drivers to see if they are citizens of the United States and that they are legally here to even work in the United States of America. So they need to start looking into these kind of workers that are our drivers, because you don't know who's driving you. Just like a young lady was killed by an Uber driver in, I think it happened in one of this, well, whatever state it was. Woman was raped and killed by an Uber driver. And it goes on a lot that a lot of people have been, there has been some crimes that has taken place with these share rides, like Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, and these are people who are committing the crimes of foreigners. So this kind of business needs to be checked in thoroughly to see who these people are, especially in New York, in yellow cabs and things of that nature. They need to start doing a little bit. They need to get a little bit more stricter, put a little bit more restrictions on these people who's driving these yellow cabs and who's driving these rides like Lyft drivers and everything. Every time they send me somebody with a foreign name, guess what? I cancel my ride. I cancel. I be canceling my ride. I be like, nah, not getting in the car with him. It is what it is. Safety first. Safety first. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here this morning. So you all take care and be safe. And like I said, those people going over in their country tearing up, talking about they don't want black people over there, the Mexicans. I don't have no interest in coming to your country, so you ain't got to worry about me. I never did. Anybody that's having a hard time leaving the United States and don't want to go back to their own country, that right there is a red flag that your country isn't safe to be in and it's not a friendly place to go. Especially when you leave from there and don't want to go back. And that's your own. I ain't never left out of the United States and never wanted to hurry up and get back to the United States. I could tell you that much. Because that's how much I love my country. I ain't got to go to nobody else's country to say I'm proud of my country and don't want to go back. That's crazy. Well, anyway, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day and be safe. Peace.